Welcome to Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Bet Review Show. We're going to go over our two plays at Fight Night 131, Marlon Moraes versus Jimmy Rivera. Going to get into the best bet play as well and our overall feeling about the card. There were some slow fights. Got a little boring for a while, and then there was some knockouts, some early victories, and we're going to go over all of that now. Our first one we're going to jump into is the best bet play. Best bet was Jimmy Rivera. We put 2 units on Jimmy Rivera to beat Marlon Moraes. And in this fight here, I mean, you sit there and you break down a fight for, whatever it is, the week, longer, depending on the, how much you're going to be placing on that. And when you sit down, you say, here we go, here is the one that I'm waiting for the entire night, and it ends in 33 seconds. So getting into it really quickly, not much to really break down in this fight, but when you look at it, something that Dominic Cruz had talked about before the fight, a day or so before the fight actually, and he said, watch for the fakes, the feints of Moraes and what he's able to do and how he's able to really make it very difficult on his opponent. And, Jimmy Rivera, he's a tough wrestler, still throws some hard shots. So really going right into the fight, I mean, Marlon Moraes leads out with that first leg kick, kind of just literally brought the attention from Jimmy Rivera from just kind of being comfortable to already worrying about leg kicks. And then you'll see right after that, Marlon Moraes does a quick fake and, moves his hips in a way of almost, he was definitely 100% not looking to even throw anything. He really was just checking to see where Rivera's hands were going to be going. And right away, he sees an opportunity to throw a switch kick, completely throws off Rivera, and they had said just before that, the announcers are saying, this is going to be, this is going to be a feeling out process, probably the first round, a feeling out process. And the only feeling that was given was Marlon Moraes' leg crushing against the skull of Jimmy Rivera. That ended the fight, and just an unbelievable kick, really just a tremendous kick. I mean, and looking back at it, a lot of times too, when I handicap a fight, or, again, I've given time into handicapping the fight, I like to even look at whether I win or whether I lose. I like to go back and break down really, did I see the correct thing? Was it the right thing? Did I handicap it the right way? Did I miss information? And that's really how you get better. We're all trying to get better, and that's how you really try to get better as a handicapper when you're really particularly working on one sport, and that for me is the UFC. So even with Till, we got the win there, and maybe you don't dive into it as much when you're right. But you just want to make sure, did I see everything correctly, and was this the way that I thought it would go, and that kind of thing. And in here, I really saw Jimmy Rivera, Marlon Moraes going to be a longer fight. I thought it would definitely be more of a longer fight. I thought they wouldn't, it's always a possibility, and we did talk about that. Either of these guys can put your lights out. Of course, Moraes can more, but either of these guys have that power. But I was more on the side of there was going to be more of a relaxed beginning to that fight, and maybe even that's what Jimmy Rivera thought, and that's why he was a little more relaxed than Moraes. But an unbelievable kick. You really give him a ton of credit. The way he was able to do it and how quickly he was, and again, going back to the way that I looked at, you handicap the fights, and look back at the last 3 fights, and look back, now what did I miss in those 3? You have a Sun Tzu. Maybe I downgraded that fight a little too much. The fact that, although he lost against Sun Tzu, but he fought. Sun Tzu's one hell of a fighter, and maybe I missed that. Maybe I miscalculated. I more put into the assumption that Sun Tzu wasn't giving his all because Moraes was coming from, although he was a champion in the World Series of Fighting, but, his debut in UFC, maybe he just underestimated him, and maybe got the better of him there, but still Sun Tzu gets the win. And even against Dodson, I was focusing more on the takedowns and the fact that Dodson was able to bring Moraes to the ground. And there again was a split decision, and Moraes did get that victory there. So he's 1-1 with 2 split decisions going into the fight against Aljamain, and he puts Aljamain away in what to me more was on the side of, a terrific place kick, but was it more of the collision side of things? Was it more of just, a freak shot? Wasn't a fluke because he's such a good striker, you can't call any of his strikes really a fluke. But was it more of, Aljamain going forward, and he was already looking to throw that kick, or did he time the kick? Was he seen him go in and he threw the kick? So the more you look at it now and you go to a fight with Jimmy Rivera and how things really transpired, I mean, 100%, even the shot with Aljamain, I mean, these are placed shots by him. I mean, without a doubt they are. Unbelievably, the way he was able to, in such a short time, as much as I wanted to see more of that fight, I really wanted to see more of that fight. I felt, a void in my life when I'm sitting there and that's it. It's over. It's just like that. And as we were talking in the Let's Chat discussion video in the comment section, getting hyped for this fight, and it happens in 33 seconds. But even if it went longer, Moraes was going to get that victory. I mean, if Rivera was that thrown off that quickly, that early in the fight, Moraes, if he didn't land that, he would, he's going to land one in the first 2 rounds. The way he just didn't even move and the way that how perfectly that kick was placed. So Moraes gets the victory. This now puts us at best bet for the year. We are 18 wins, 8 losses, plus 14.3 units for the year. Still around that 70% range, still happy with the performance, but really it's just a disappointment when fights end that way. So got to tip your hat off to Moraes. Will be interesting to see Moraes maybe facing, Cody or TJ. That would be an amazing fight. But if Cody wins, then now Moraes kind of get pushed back a little bit because they're going to maybe have a third fight, depending on how that, how Cody wins and all these other things. But we'd love to see Moraes get into the mix with the title contention. The other play that we had was Jake Ellenberger versus Ben Saunders. And this one, again, first round, going in there, Ellenberger putting some pressure on, looked good, landed a nice shot, got Saunders up against the cage. I got excited right there for a minute and said, this is a good spot. And as soon as Ben Saunders gets that clinch on and gets a perfect Muay Thai clinch, really got a good hold of him, you could tell then that Jake Ellenberger started to get a little worried. So he ends up getting the victory, gets a nice knee in the clinch, puts him down, puts him away. Jake Ellenberger ends up losing there. We had a lot of great plays. We had a lot of parlays and many things hit last week with the Till versus Thompson. It was a really great card, parlaying straight bets. Really great to go here, lose some of that profit back. Kind of sucks a little bit, but that's why we all talk about the money management side of things. Even this morning, talking to VCR Repairman in the comment section, that's how it is. You win, you lose, but you gotta always make sure you're money managing to fight another day. So there you have it, guys. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to the channel, UFC and Gambling All in One. And this is Mr. UFC Vegas, Fight Club TV.